Today we'll start a new subject, that is digital electronics. Actually, this subject is in the syllabus of both IT and electronics third sem. So let us have a brief idea about the syllabus which we are going to cover in this subject. That is basics of digital electronics, your first module. In this, we are going to cover about the number system, Boolean algebra, and some code converter. Then we have combination logic circuits and sequential logic circuits. That is the design aspect. Here we will discuss about adder, multiplier, uh, that like circuits, and in sequential logic circuits we are going to discuss about flip-flop and latches, registers, counters, etc. Then we have registers and memories. In case of memories, we'll study about RAM, ROM, etc. Then we will have analog digital converter and digital analog converter, and finally we will discuss about logic families. So before we start about this subject, that is digital electronics, let me introduce myself. I am Balram Tripathi, lecturer electronics. I will take this subject for you. First, I am going to define you what do you mean by electronics. We all are studying in electronics branch. So what is the meaning of electronics? That is the electronics is nothing but the branch of engineering which deals with flow of electrons inside a semiconductor. Flow of electron inside a semiconductor. Actually, the matter which we have studied, that is classified into three types. That is conductor, semiconductor, and insulator. So electronics, we are in a branch where we are dealing with flow of electron inside a semiconductor. Why semiconductor? Why not conductor? Because in case of semiconductor, we can control the flow of electron. That means we can control the conductivity as per our requirement. In case of conductor or metal, that is aluminium, copper, silver, gold, these are all examples of conductor. Here abundant amount of electrons present, but the problem is we cannot control the conductivity of the conductor. We cannot control the flow of electron. Hence, we could not able to control the conductivity. Hence, we are not using conductor for making any electronics devices. Then before I am going to discuss about in details about what do you mean by digital, let me first explain you about few basic definition. First, what do you mean by signal? Signal is nothing but anything which carries information. For example, I am teaching here, so I am sharing some information with you. That means this is known as voice signal. It has some frequency range. That range is from 300 Hz to 3.5 kHz. You are listening to music. That music signal, it has also, that is known as audio signal, which has range from 25 kHz to 25 Hz to 20 kHz. So how we will define signal mathematically? Mathematically we define signal, which is a function in which the physical quantity varies with independent parameter. Independent parameter like time, distance, etc. Then how will we define it? We have studied in mathematics, that is a function f, which is here the function f is the dependent variable, which is depending on the independent variable, that is x. So this is a mathematical definition of signal. Let us take a practical example. Suppose you want to measure the temperature of this room from 9 am to 9 pm. From 9 am to 9 pm. In that case, T is the temperature. So T is the function which is depending on the temperature, where the independent parameter is time. So that is the physical quantity here is the temperature, and the independent parameter here is the time. So we want to measure the temperature of this room from 9 am to 9 pm. So we measure and we get the corresponding value, that is at 9 am the temperature is 30 degrees Celsius, at 9:15 40 degrees Celsius, similarly at 9 pm the temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Then how we represent this in a graph? That is time. We always take the dependent variable y axis and the independent variable in x-axis. Then if you plot, the curve will be like a inverted parabola. That is 30 degrees Celsius and maximum is 40 degrees Celsius. Then again it reach the minimum temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. Then if you write down its equation, it will be like minus at square plus bt plus c, where a, b, c are the constant. So in this way you can define a signal mathematically. So roughly speaking, signal is anything which carries some information. But mathematically, if you define signal, which is nothing but a function in which the physical quantity varies with independent parameter. But with respect to electrical or electronics, we are dealing with current and voltage. With respect to electrical and electronics, we are dealing with current and voltage. Hence, we will study about whatever signal that is in the form of current or voltage. So we have studied two types of current, that is direct current. Here this is not a signal. Why? Because this current is constant at each instant of time. Hence this is a DC current graph. Then you have AC signal. Then you have a periodic AC signal in which the signal is varying with respect to time and repeating at a particular time interval, that is T. and this rate of repetition we measure by using a term that is known as your frequency. Then we will see a term known as analog signal. Analog, the word coming from analogous, that is similar to nature. So whatever physical signal that is present in our nature, that is continuous in the form, that is in a continuous form. Hence, in the previous graph, we have seen that the temperature of the room, that is from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. we have measured, and we got a graph which is a inverted parabola. Here, from this graph, we can observe one thing, that is it can take any value. It can take any value within a particular range. That is, if I consider here that is 30 degree to 45 degree Celsius. In this range, in case of analog signal, it can take any value. That may be that might be a fraction or a point, anything that is 30.3, 30.4, any value it can take within this particular range. That is infinitely many value it can take. Similarly, in the time axis, we can also take any value that is possible. Hence, the definition of analog signal is within a fixed range within a fixed range, it can take infinitely many values. That is, the signal is both in amplitude axis as well as in time axis. Then we will next consider another signal, that is discrete time signal. Suppose you want to measure the temperature of this room from Monday to Saturday at a particular time, that is 9 a.m. So in that case, if you plot the graph, So here I want to measure the temperature of this room from Monday to Saturday at a particular time, that is 9 a.m. So in that case, in this case, you can observe that I discretize this time axis. I discretize this time axis, that is, I am taking only a particular fixed interval, that is 9 a.m. But still the graph is continuous in amplitude axis. That means in amplitude, that means it can take any value in amplitude. That is, the temperature can be infinitely any value. So after till now we have studied about what is a signal, then what is a analog signal, then we have a discrete time signal. Now we will define digital signal. In digital signal, both the time as well as amplitude got discretized. That means in amplitude axis also we are taking fixed number of labels, and in time axis also we are taking fixed number of labels. That is, both the axes got discretized and the amplitude axis got quantized. You can see from this graph, it can take only integer value and only a fixed number of values, and also in amplitude axis also it takes finite number of values. So digital signal is nothing but which takes finite values in both the axes, that is both axes got discretized. Then what is the need of why we want to convert the signal from analog to digital? Because as I have earlier told you that the signal which exists in nature are analogous, that is in analog form. Then why we need such type of digital signal? Actually, it has let me explain with a practical example. See how to convert from analog to digital signal. We will look into that in a chapter called analog to digital converter, where in details we will see how a analog signal got converted into digital signal. That is various block diagram about sampling and sampling theorem, about quantizer and about encoder. We will discuss in details. This is your introduction class. Here we will see only the basic definition, that is what is a signal, what is analog signal, what is a discrete signal, and why we want to convert that analog signal into digital signal. So in the real world, whatever signal exists, that is in the for example my voice signal or temperature or pressure, these are all mechanical signals. And so first block diagram you can see here, that is a transducer or sensor. That is a transducer or sensor. The working of transducer or sensor, which is used to convert that mechanical signal into electrical signal, that is in the form of current or voltage. Let me draw a graph. Suppose this type of signal is converted, that is by voice signal, but converted, and we will get a graph like this. See, the graph is here continuous, that it can take any value within a fixed range, that is analog signal. Then we will have the analog to digital converter. Why we need to convert the analog signal to digital signal? Because whatever we are using a processor which is going to process that signal. For example, I am wearing a watch, and that is a smart watch which is used to measure pressure, which is used to measure the blood pressure. See, the pressure of is a obviously a mechanical signal. That signal first converted into a electrical quantity, electrical signal, that is in a analog form. Then, in order to show that in order to process that signal, to measure the pressure, we need a processor. That we will discuss about in a microprocessor. It has many applications. That is, processor is present in any electronic devices that we are using. That is a digital watch, digital camera, a digital computer that process only digital signal. And then what is the advantages of that processing? After processing, we can store that signal or record that signal in a memory. Because when you purchase a mobile phone, we have seen a specification that is the RAM is 4 GB, the ROM is 64 GB. That means we have finite amount of memory. So in case of analog signal, that is not possible to store the entire data. So analog signal is nothing but that is in the form of voltage. That is in the form of voltage. When we convert that in digital, that converted into the data. And this data got processed by the processor, and we can store it in the memory, or we can display it by using 7-segment display, that is LED. We will in the later chapter we will see how we will design a display. So the need of digital signal is it has actually many advantages. The first is it requires very actually we can store it because it contains only finite values. We can store it in the memory. Then the second is it is very immune to noise. We will study about this in communication. Then the third one is it is very easy to process a digital signal. Thank you. In the later chapter, we will study about more about this system, and then we will start the basic coding. That is, we will study about binary coding system, and that is your number system and Boolean algebra.